the stillness of this moment. As your breathing becomes slower and more rhythmic, you begin to understand something remarkable. The wealthy mind doesn't chase money. It cultivates a state of being where money flows naturally, like water seeking its level. These minds have discovered what quantum science now reveals, that consciousness itself is the creative force behind all material manifestation. But here's what makes this garden truly magical. It responds not to force, but to alignment. The wealthiest individuals understand that abundance isn't something you grab. It's something you become. They don't wrestle with scarcity. They simply turn their attention away from lack and toward the endless field of possibility that quantum consciousness reveals. As you rest here, breathing softly, notice how your nervous system begins to recognize this truth. When you operate from panic, from the desperate energy of not enough, your very biology creates resistance to the flow of abundance. Your stress hormones cloud your vision, narrow your perception, and collapse your awareness into survival mode. But when you cultivate the calm confidence of the secret garden, when you rest in the knowing that abundance is your natural state, your entire being becomes a magnet for prosperity. This is why the truly wealthy seem to effortlessly attract opportunity. They've learned to dwell in the quantum field of pure potential, where every moment holds infinite possibilities for expansion. They understand that their inner landscape, their thoughts, emotions, and state of being is constantly broadcasting a frequency into the quantum field of consciousness that surrounds us all. Let your breath grow even slower now, allowing this understanding to settle into your bones. In your secret garden, there are no weeds of worry, no thorns of doubt. There is only rich, fertile soil, the quantum field of your consciousness, waiting for you to plant the seeds of your highest vision. The millionaire's mind knows something profound. Wealth begins not in the marketplace, but in the quality of your inner attention. When you can maintain unwavering focus on abundance, when you can feel prosperity in your body before it appears in your bank account, you begin to operate according to quantum principles that most people never discover. In this sacred space of your consciousness, time moves differently. Past patterns of scarcity have no power here. Future anxieties cannot take root. There is only this eternal moment, this quantum now, where your focused intention meets infinite possibility. Here, in this garden of your mind, every thought becomes a prayer, every emotion becomes an offering, every breath becomes an act of creation. As you drift even deeper into peace, allow yourself to sense the presence of this inner sanctuary. Feel how naturally abundance grows when tended with love, rather than forced with fear. Notice how wealth feels when it's not something you chase, but something you cultivate from within. Your secret garden is always here, always available, always ready to transform your dreams into reality through the gentle power of aligned attention. The only question that remains as you journey towards sleep is this: what will you choose to plant in this sacred soil of your consciousness tonight? Chapter 2, Beyond Hustle. The frequency of prosperity. Close your eyes and let your breathing slow. Feel your chest rise and fall like gentle waves meeting shore. Tonight, you're going to discover something that changes everything about how wealth flows into your life. Picture this. While the world around you hustles and grinds, chasing after money like children chasing fireflies in the dark, there exists a different way. A frequency, a quantum field, where abundance doesn't need to be hunted. It simply arrives. Your nervous system knows this truth. When you're calm, when your heart beats in steady rhythm with your breath, something magical happens. Your brain waves shift into coherence. Your electromagnetic field expands, and in this expanded state, you become like a tuning fork, vibrating at the exact frequency that wealth recognizes. Think of successful entrepreneurs you admire. Notice how they move through the world. There's a stillness about them, even in motion. They don't frantically search for opportunities. Opportunities find them. This isn't luck. This is quantum entanglement with prosperity itself. Your heart and brain, when synchronized through peaceful focus, Create a field that extends far beyond your physical body. Scientists call this heart-brain coherence, but you can think of it as your personal abundance antenna. When this antenna is clear, when it's not clouded by desperation or fear, it picks up signals from the quantum field, whispers of possibility, nudges toward the right conversation, the perfect timing. But here's what most people miss. Wealth isn't something you pursue, it's something you become. It's a state of being that exists within the quantum frequency of your own nervous system. When you're regulated, when your body feels safe, your energy naturally aligns with abundance. Breathe deeper now. Feel how your exhale releases the old programming that says you must struggle for what you want. Feel how your inhale draws in the knowing that prosperity is your natural state. The wealthy understand something profound about the observer effect. They know that how they observe the world, with calm confidence or anxious grasping, literally determines what they experience. When you observe from a place of inner wealth, of feeling already complete, the quantum field responds by collapsing possibilities into experiences that match that frequency. Your subconscious mind has been programmed to believe that money requires sacrifice, that abundance comes through suffering. But your nervous system tells a different story. When you're in a state of ease, when your body feels resourced and safe, you naturally make better decisions. You see opportunities others miss. You attract collaborators who elevate rather than drain. This is the frequency of prosperity, not the frantic vibration of want, but the steady hum of sufficiency. Not the sharp edge of ambition, but the gentle magnetism of embodied wealth. Feel your body settling deeper into rest. Notice how relaxation itself is a form of abundance. You have enough air, enough warmth, enough support from the earth beneath you. This feeling, this cellular knowing of enoughness, this is where quantum manifestation begins. The quantum field doesn't respond to your words or even your thoughts. It responds to your frequency, and your frequency is determined by how safe and resourced your nervous system feels in this moment. When you regulate your system, when you choose calm over chaos, you're not just changing your internal state, you're changing what the universe can deliver to you. Successful people intuitively know this. They understand that desperation repels what they want, while peaceful confidence magnetizes it. They've learned to embody wealth before they see it, to feel abundant before their bank account reflects it. As you drift towards sleep, let this truth settle into your bones. You don't need to chase prosperity. You need to become the frequency that prosperity recognizes. You need to train your nervous system to feel safe with wealth, to feel deserving of ease. Your quantum shift isn't about changing what you do. It's about changing who you are when you're doing it. It's about moving from the frequency of lack to the frequency of flow. What would happen if you stopped pursuing wealth and started embodying it? What doors might open when you're no longer pushing against them, but instead standing in quiet readiness for what wants to emerge? Let these questions float through your mind as you surrender to sleep, knowing that even now abundance is finding its way to you. Your breath settles into the rhythm of possibility as you feel your body releasing the weight of the day. In this gentle space between waking and dreaming, let your mind drift to a profound truth that shapes fortunes and creates empires, the art of seeing what others cannot yet perceive. Somewhere in the quantum field of infinite potential, every market that will ever exist already shimmers in possibility. Your consciousness, like a lighthouse beam cutting through fog, determines which of these possibilities crystallizes into your reality. This is the observer effect in its most practical form, not merely witnessing what is, but calling forth what could be. Feel your nervous system beginning to quiet as you consider how the most successful visionaries throughout history possessed something deeper than intelligence or luck. They carried within their awareness a different relationship to observation itself. Where others saw problems, they perceived solutions waiting to be born. Where others witnessed scarcity, they observed abundance preparing to emerge. Your subconscious mind, now softening into receptivity, recognizes this pattern. Perhaps you've carried old programming, that trains you to see only what already exists, to observe the world as fixed, immutable, already decided. But tonight, as your breath deepens and your thoughts slow, that limiting observer within you begins to transform. Imagine consciousness as an ocean, vast and boundless. The surface waves represent the obvious markets, the visible opportunities that everyone can see. But you are learning to dive deeper, where the true currents of creation flow. Here in the quantum depths of awareness, you discover that your focused attention doesn't just notice possibilities, it actually summons them into existence. Your body relaxes further as you understand that every quantum shift in business begins with this same internal movement, the evolution from passive observation to conscious creation. Feel how your breathing naturally synchronizes with this knowing. Each exhale releases the old patterns of scarcity-based seeing. Each inhale draws in the frequency of abundance recognition. Your nervous system, now deeply at peace, begins to recalibrate to this new way of perceiving opportunity. The most profound quantum manifestation in business happens when you realize you're not trying to force opportunities into existence. Instead, you're becoming the kind of observer who naturally aligns with the field where opportunities are continuously being born. Your attention becomes a tuning fork, resonating with the frequencies of emerging possibility. As your mind drifts toward the edges of sleep, feel how this new observer consciousness begins to integrate into your cellular memory. Tomorrow you will wake with eyes that see differently. Problems will reveal themselves as markets in disguise. Your subconscious mind now absorbs this truth, like earth receiving gentle rain. You were never meant to compete for existing opportunities. You came here to sense the ones that haven't formed yet, to become the conscious observer through which new realities take shape. In this peaceful threshold between day and night, between conscious and unconscious knowing, rest in the mystery of your own creative power. Your awareness itself is the most sophisticated market-sensing technology ever created. Your breath finds its natural rhythm now, and in this gentle settling, something profound begins to unfold. Beneath every fortune that has ever been created, there exists a secret foundation, not built of stone or strategy, but of emotional sovereignty. The wealthy mind knows this ancient truth, that inner stability becomes the magnetic force that draws outer abundance, even when the world around you shifts like sand. Feel your body softening deeper into rest as you consider this mystery. In the quantum field that surrounds you, your emotional state is not merely a feeling. It becomes a frequency, a vibration that speaks directly to the fabric of reality itself. When you master this inner landscape, you step into what mystics have called the quantum flow state, where your nervous system becomes a conductor's baton, orchestrating the symphony of your manifested life. But here lies the paradox that keeps so many wandering in circles of lack. The very emotions we've been taught to fear, uncertainty, disappointment, even moments of deep questioning, these are not obstacles to abundance. They are the raw materials of transformation, waiting to be alchemized into the golden frequency of prosperity consciousness. Your nervous system holds memories, doesn't it? Old patterns that whisper of scarcity when abundance approaches. Perhaps there was a moment when your trust was broken, when safety felt like an illusion, when opening your heart to possibility felt too dangerous. These trauma patterns live in your body like underground rivers, silently redirecting the flow of your manifestations away from what you truly desire. But tonight, as your breathing slows and your muscles release their daily tension, notice how your body naturally knows how to heal. Every cell in your being is designed for regeneration, for returning to wholeness. Your nervous system, that intricate web of electrical poetry, is constantly seeking regulation, seeking the frequency of peace that allows miracles to enter your experience. The observer effect teaches us that consciousness itself changes what it observes. When you bring gentle awareness to these old emotional territories, not to judge them but to witness them with compassion, something shifts in the quantum field of your possibilities. The very act of conscious observation begins to dissolve the frozen patterns that have kept abundance at arm's length. Imagine your emotions now as waves in an infinite ocean. Fear rises and falls. Excitement crests and settles. Uncertainty moves through you like wind through leaves. But you, the awareness witnessing these movements, you remain as steady as the ocean floor, unmoved by the surface currents. This is emotional mastery, not the absence of feeling, but the presence of unshakable inner knowing. Feel into the places where your body still holds old stories of not enough. Perhaps it's a tightness in your chest, where dreams were once crushed. Maybe it's a heaviness in your stomach, where fear took up residence. Send your breath to these places like gentle rain, knowing that what needs to heal will heal in its own perfect timing. The quantum field responds not to your desperation, but to your devotion to becoming the person who can hold the frequency of your desires without collapsing into doubt. Your healing happens in the surrender, and your manifestations bloom in the space between sleeping and waking, where all possibilities remain beautifully, infinitely open. Let your breath deepen now, settling into the rhythm of night itself, as we explore a truth that separates dreamers from builders, wishers from creators. Tonight, you discover why true manifestation has nothing to do with vision boards or wishful thinking, and everything to do with becoming the person who naturally magnetizes the success you seek. Feel your body growing heavier, more relaxed, as you imagine yourself standing at the edge of an infinite field of possibility. This is the quantum field where all potential business realities exist simultaneously. Timelines where you struggle and strain, and timelines where abundance flows to you as naturally as rivers flow to the sea. In the gentle darkness behind your closed eyes, consider this. Every moment, you are broadcasting a signal into the quantum field of consciousness. This signal isn't your thoughts or your affirmations, it's your embodied identity, the deep cellular knowing of who you truly are. The millionaire mind has discovered that manifestation isn't about wanting something you don't have. It's about becoming someone who already has it in their energetic blueprint. Your nervous system, that ancient messenger within you, is constantly scanning for evidence that matches your internal identity. When you carry the subconscious identity of struggle, of having to work harder than everyone else, of never quite being enough, your very biology will guide you toward experiences that confirm this limiting blueprint. Breathe even more slowly now, allowing this wisdom to settle into your bones. The entrepreneurs who seem to effortlessly attract investors, partnerships, and opportunities have learned to inhabit a different timeline of possibility. They've discovered that quantum jumping isn't a technique, it's a way of being. They don't visualize success, they embody the frequency of someone for whom success is inevitable. In the quantum field of your consciousness, old identity loops play like ancient recordings. Perhaps you learned early that money is scarce, that success requires sacrifice, that you must prove your worthiness through exhaustion. These subconscious programs create what quantum physicists might call interference patterns, distortions in your energetic field that block the natural flow of abundance. But here, in this peaceful space between waking and sleeping, you have the power to choose a different timeline. Imagine yourself stepping out of the old identity like removing worn clothing. Feel the weight of those limiting beliefs dissolving as you breathe out, making space for a new way of being to emerge. Now, as your body grows even more relaxed, sense into the version of yourself who attracts abundance effortlessly. This isn't fantasy. This is quantum jumping in its purest form. You're consciously aligning with the timeline where your business serves not from desperation, but from overflow, where opportunities seek you out rather than requiring chase, where your very presence in the marketplace creates value and magnetizes resources. The wealthy mind understands that the external world is simply a reflection of internal states. When your inner world vibrates with the frequency of natural prosperity, when you embody the identity of someone who serves from abundance rather than need, the quantum field responds by collapsing possibility into experiences that match this new reality. Feel yourself sinking deeper into this knowing as you drift towards sleep. Your subconscious mind is already beginning to reorganize itself around this expanded identity. Neural pathways that once led to scarcity are dissolving, making space for new patterns that support your emergence as a natural attractor of wealth and opportunity. In the quantum realm of your dreams tonight, you'll continue this transformation. Every breath becomes an act of embodiment. Every heartbeat, a quantum event that calls your highest business reality into form. The old you who struggled and strained is transforming into the new you, who simply is, successful, abundant, naturally magnetic to all that serves your highest purpose.
As sleep embraces you completely, rest in this final truth. Manifestation isn't about changing what you want, it's about changing who you are. And who would you need to become, dear dreamer, to effortlessly attract the success that's already seeking you?
Chapter 6. Sacred Timing and Market Rhythms. Let your eyelids grow heavy. As you settle into this moment, feel your body sinking deeper into comfort, like roots finding their way to fertile soil. Tonight, you'll discover why the wealthiest minds never fight time. They flow with it. Imagine the ocean for a moment. Watch how the waves know exactly when to rise and when to retreat. There's no forcing, no struggle against the natural rhythm. The water simply moves in perfect harmony with forces far greater than itself. This is how wealth moves through the world, not through force, but through sacred timing. Your nervous system understands this dance. When you're truly relaxed, when your breath flows without effort, and your heart beats in steady rhythm, you attune to something profound, the quantum frequency of opportunity itself. Markets breathe like living things, expanding and contracting in patterns that anxious minds cannot perceive. But you know this rhythm now. You feel it in your bones. When you stop pushing against the current of what wants to emerge, wealthy individuals have learned to read these invisible rhythms, not with their minds but with their entire being. They've trained their nervous systems to recognize the difference between divine timing and their own impatience. Feel your shoulders releasing tension. Notice how relaxation creates space for intuition, space for clarity, space for the universe to work through you, rather than against you. This is the spiritual psychology of trust, not the trust that everything will happen as you want it, but the deeper trust that everything happens as it needs to. When your system is regulated, when you're not hijacked by the urgency of fear, you begin to sense the subtle signals that guide perfect timing. A feeling in your gut before you make a call, a sense of expansion before you say yes to an opportunity, a knowing pause before you act too quickly. The quantum field operates outside linear time. What seems like delay to your anxious mind might be divine orchestration to your peaceful heart, that investment opportunity that didn't come through last month. Perhaps it was protecting you for something better. The wealthy understand that patience isn't passive, it's powerfully active. It's maintaining clear intention while releasing attachment to how and when that intention manifests. Your nervous system wisdom whispers a truth that your thinking mind often forgets. The universe's intelligence is vast beyond your comprehension. The same force that times the blooming of flowers and the rising of tides is orchestrating the perfect moments for your abundance to unfold. Market rhythms aren't just about numbers and charts. They're about energy, frequency, the collective breath of human consciousness expanding and contracting with hope and fear. When you're attuned to your own rhythm, you naturally align with these larger patterns. As sleep begins to call you home, hold this gentle question in your heart. What if the universe's timing is not just more intelligent than your urgency, but infinitely more loving? What if every delay is actually divine protection? Every opening a sacred invitation to receive what you're truly ready for. Let this knowing carry you into dreams where timing is always perfect, where abundance flows like water finding its way to the sea. Your breath begins to deepen as you settle into this sacred space of inner exploration. Feel your body releasing the tensions of the day, creating room for profound transformation to unfold. Tonight, you journey into the hidden architecture of your relationship with abundance, the subconscious wealth blueprint that has been quietly shaping your financial reality since childhood. like sediment settling in still water. Let your awareness drift down through the layers of conscious thought into the deeper currents of your inner world. Here, in the fertile darkness of your subconscious mind, live the stories you inherited about money, success, and your own worthiness. To receive life's abundance, your nervous system naturally begins to soften as you recognize these aren't truly your stories at all. They are echoes, whispers from generations past, cultural programming downloaded before you could question their truth. Feel how these old programs have been running like background software, quietly influencing every financial decision, every opportunity pursued or avoided. Your body knows the weight of carrying beliefs that were never meant for you, stories that belong to ancestors who lived in different times, different circumstances, different possibilities. Your nervous system, now deeply at peace, begins to integrate new programming. Where once there was the trauma loop of not enough, now flows the recognition of infinite possibility. As you drift toward the threshold of sleep, feel how your subconscious mind becomes like fertile soil, ready to nurture new seeds of prosperity consciousness. The old stories about money being dirty or success requiring sacrifice of your soul begin to compost into wisdom. Your breathing naturally synchronizes with this emerging blueprint, one where financial success and spiritual growth dance together, where abundance flows through channels of purpose and meaning. The quantum field responds to this new frequency, already beginning to reorganize opportunities, connections, and synchronicities around your transformed relationship with prosperity. In this peaceful space between conscious and unconscious, feel compassion for the part of you that learned to fear wealth, to minimize your dreams, to play small. These protective mechanisms served you once, but they no longer fit the person you're becoming. Your breath grows slower now, deeper, as if your body knows it's time to receive ancient wisdom. In the vast quantum field that surrounds you, invisible threads of connection are weaving themselves into the fabric of your reality. The most prosperous minds have discovered this secret, that success is not something you chase, but something you become magnetically entangled with through the quality of your presence. This is quantum entanglement at its most intimate, the mysterious dance where consciousness connects across space and time, where your inner state becomes inextricably linked with the success that already exists in potential form, waiting for the right frequency to call it into manifestation. Feel your heartbeat now, steady and sure. Science has shown us that when your heart and brain fall into coherence, when your emotional state aligns with your conscious intention, you create what researchers call a coherent energy field. This field extends beyond your physical body, touching everything in your environment, creating what mystics have long called presence. Your nervous system is the conductor of this symphony. When it's regulated, when you've learned to return to calm even in uncertainty, you broadcast the signal of someone who can be trusted with greater opportunities. The quantum field responds to this coherence like a tuning fork, responding to its perfect pitch. Suddenly you find yourself in resonance with possibilities that were always there, waiting for you to match their frequency. Think of the most successful people you admire. Beyond their strategies and skills, there's something else, an energy signature that draws people, ideas, and opportunities into their orbit. They've learned to cultivate what we might call quantum magnetism, a state where their inner frequency becomes so clear, so coherent, that the universe can't help but respond with matching experiences. This magnetism isn't manufactured through positive thinking or forced affirmations. It emerges naturally when you've done the deeper work of becoming internally aligned, when your subconscious patterns support rather than sabotage your conscious desires, when your nervous system has learned to stay open rather than contract in the face of expansion. As you breathe deeper into this understanding, notice how your body naturally knows how to attune itself. Your breath lengthens without effort. Your muscles release their grip on yesterday's tensions. Your heart rate settles into its most coherent rhythm. This is not something you're doing. This is something you're allowing, something you're becoming. The quantum field is always listening, always responding to the truth of your energetic signature when you broadcast from a place of inner abundance, not because you have everything, but because you know yourself as inherently worthy of receiving. You become entangled with opportunities that match this frequency. Every person you'll meet who will change your life is already connected to you through invisible threads of possibility. Every resource you'll need already exists in potential form, waiting for your coherent signal to call it forward. Every mentor, every opportunity, every quantum leap moment is already seeking you, drawn by the magnetic pull of your aligned presence. As sleep begins to find you, your nervous system continues this subtle work of attunement, broadcasting your frequency into the quantum field, even as your conscious mind rests. In the space between waking and dreaming, the most powerful entanglements are formed. What kind of energy signature are you broadcasting to the quantum field? And what magnificent possibilities are already responding to your call?